السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. My beloved brothers and sisters, those of us who are here in the masjid, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you and accept our efforts and our sacrifices to spend the evening in His house. Allahumma ameen. And for those of you who are joining at home from the comfort of your beautiful homes, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill your homes with His barakah and with His blessings, with His mercy and with His guidance. Allahumma ameen. Ahbab, we continue, inshallah. We are in the third part of our series speaking about the Muslim community that I dream of. The Muslim community that I dream of. This is the topic of our series. And we have some new faces in the masjid and perhaps new faces online as well. Just to share with you guys what we're talking about, we recognize that Allah has blessed us and given us a golden opportunity that in this part of the world, this is, walillahi alhamd, a new masjid, the first masjid in this neighborhood or in this city. And we are building the Muslim community from scratch. Then we have a unique opportunity that the way that we imagine and dream the Muslim community should be, we can build it that way. Many of you, mashallah, sitting in front of me are part of the group that founded this masjid. And even if you are not one of the first people who was around when the idea was hatched, all of you are part of the founding members of the Jama'ah, the first Muslims to come and pray in this masjid. And for those of you who are watching at home, if you are local and in the area, come visit the masjid. If you are far, may Allah bless you, visit your local masjid. But the idea is, we have a plan. There is something in our mind that we dream about. And the more we talk about it, and the more we discuss it, the more we can work towards bringing it to reality. This Muslim community that I dream of, it's my dream. I'm sharing it with you guys. Inshallah, it will become our dream. And it will become our reality. This is our goal. Let's review what we spoke about so far. The first discussion that we had was about the fact that the heart of the Muslim community is ibadatullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Muslim community that we are dreaming of building and dreaming of being a part of is a community, its heart is the worship of Allah. And we explained that the worship of Allah is in many different aspects. We said that the Muslim community is full of individuals who love Allah, who want to seek the pleasure of Allah, and they do this in at least 4 different ways. We said number 1, there is the ibadah of our body, of our limbs. This is by making salah, by fasting, by giving some sadaqah, by making umrah or hajj if we have the ability to do so. This is the ibadah of the body. But we said that there is another level of ibadah, which is the ibadah of the heart. The ibadah of the heart. That the Muslim and the Muslim community, they trust Allah. Their heart is full of love for Allah. When they need something, they ask Allah. This ibadah is not tangible. It's not in your hands. It's a feeling in the heart. A feeling that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my maker, my sustainer, my provider, my protector. I depend on Him alone. He is the one who can protect me, who can guide me. This ibadah is a feeling in the heart that every Muslim, inshallah, all of us here, we should work on fostering and developing it. And there is another level on top of that, which is the ibadah of the aql, the ibadah of the mind. It's not enough for the Muslim just to do the physical ibadah and just to have love for Allah in his heart. His mind also should be convinced of this religion that he believes in. So the ibadah of the mind, for example, to contemplate and to think about the signs of Allah, to think about how Allah made this body of mine so perfect, to believe in the miracles of Allah and His Messenger, to understand the reasons behind why Allah asked me and you to do certain things. This is a type of ibadah. The effort that you put to intellectually understand your deen, to intellectually understand your religion, exercising this mind to understand what Allah wants is a type of ibadah. And then there's the fourth level of ibadah that we spoke about, which is, we called it the ibadah of fulfilling your potential. You see, there is a level of ibadatullah, of worship of Allah, which is that Allah created me and you. And He blessed us with so much. Just few things. Alhamdulillah, we are healthy. Alhamdulillah, we are, wealthy. Somebody might say, but I don't have the $10 billion I dream of. No problem. You have a full-time job that pays you regularly. You have some money saved in your bank account if there was an emergency. And your fridge in the kitchen and the freezer in the garage is full of food. I don't know, maybe you guys in your culture don't have the fridge in the garage, but in some homes there's the extra fridge in the garage, the backup fridge. In case, God forbid, something happened, we go to the garage, we get the extra food. Beyond that, Allah bless me and you that we live in safety and security. There's no planes flying over our head to drop bombs. We don't worry about our neighbor shooting us. On top of that, Allah blessed me and you with an education. Maybe we don't all have, doctorate degrees in our field, but everyone can read, everyone can write, everyone has a skill. Allah has given you all of this and He has filled you with potential. For me and you to fulfill our potential or to put effort to achieve our potential is a type of worship of Allah. For the student who's in school, who's in grade 9 or who's in grade 10, to do their homework and to study for their math test so that they can get a good grade, whether that's an 80%, 85%, 98%, doesn't matter. For the student who is studying so that they can reach their potential and achieve the best results that they can in school, that study and that effort is a type of worship. And it is required from that student. For the brother who is a businessman or the sister who is running her business, to put extra time into your business and to do proper marketing, to do proper networking, with the intention that you will double or triple your profits from last year and fulfill your business potential, is a type of ibadah. Because Allah has given you the ability. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see you fulfill the potential that you have. I don't want to talk about the whole thing again, because then the whole halaqah will go. I gave the example, and I'll repeat it for the benefit of the ones who are not here. I gave the example of a parent and a child. If a parent invests everything into the child and fills them with potential, the only thing the parent is waiting to see is to see that child reach their potential. Right? Our parents, mashallah, invested money, time, energy, emotions, you name it, they invested it in us. What are they expecting in return? Are they expecting money? Are they expecting, any luxurious item? No. They are desperately waiting to see that the potential that you have or I have as a child, we fulfill. This is what the parent wants. Then Rabbul Alameen, my creator and your creator, who made us from nothing and gave us everything, He is also desperately waiting and watching to see, will Umar and will you brothers and sisters fulfill their potential? How did we get here? We said that this is a level of ibadah. The heart of the Muslim community that we are dreaming of is that this community collectively will be busy in the ibadah of Allah. That doesn't only mean that they come to the masjid for salah. Tab'an, they will come to the masjid for salah. Obviously they will come to the masjid for salah. But above and beyond that, their hearts will be connected to Allah. Their mind will be connected to Allah. And they will be striving to achieve their potential in life. Why? To seek the pleasure of Allah. So we said that the heart of the Muslim community is ibadatullah. Last week, we spoke about the fuel. If this Muslim community that we are dreaming about is going to be so great one day, inshallah, what is going to be the gas or the fuel that's going to allow us to reach where we want to go? And we said the Muslim community that we dream of runs on ihsan. This concept of ihsan. What is ihsan? Ihsan is to be excellent in whatever you do. Long story short, we mentioned last week that Imam al-Asfahani, he defined ihsan beautifully, and he said ihsan is to go above and beyond with anything that you do. Anything that you do as a Muslim, try to exceed expectation. And on the other hand, expect less than what you deserve from other people. A concept. When I am doing something, I will do it to the best of my ability. I will even exceed expectations. But when I'm going to get something from other people, if they give me less than what I deserve, I'm okay with it. And we said that ihsan, for the Muslim community that we are building, we want to see ihsan in everything. We gave some examples. We said, look at the ihsan, the design of our masjid, right? The lights, the carpet, the calligraphy, which mashallah till today, anybody that I explain to that I come to IICT, and I explained to them that we have a nice masjid, beautiful masjid, we renovated it. They asked, last week I had a group of students from a Catholic school who visited me at our masjid in Brampton. And I told them that there is another mosque in Georgetown, it looks different than this one. So they asked me what makes it different. I said, well, for starters, there's a different, there are different cultures that are there. And so they wanted a specific example. They said, like, what would you see in Georgetown that would be different from the mosque here in Brampton? So I explained to them, I said, the guys in Georgetown, in their culture, they do the calligraphy on copper. In other cultures, if you go to many other masjids, this type of calligraphy work is done on wood, right? Now this is not halal or haram or anything like that. This is ihsan. Everyone according to their culture, according to their definition of excellence. I don't know, by the way, I'm just suggesting. Maybe if you ask Indonesians, they might tell you that the finest art is copper. I don't know. But in the masjid, it seems the choice of calligraphy is on copper. Another masjid, they will tell you, no, our choice of calligraphy is on tiles. That's their culture. If you look at, for example, the Moroccans, if you go to the Moroccan masajid, they do the calligraphy, Islamic calligraphy, on tiles. You go to a different masjid, you find they do calligraphy on wood, on stone, on different things. But al-muhim, where did we start from? The ihsan that the masjid has, the brothers who designed the masjid, who invested in hiring the right people to do the job, they had a standard. They weren't trying to just meet the bare minimum. They wanted to exceed all expectation. This is in the physical aspect of the building. But in every other aspect of life, our Muslim community, inshallah, will have ihsan. So we will have ihsan in our education. We will have ihsan in our organization. We will have ihsan with the food that we prepare. This one I can vouch for. The dinner and the breakfast prepared at IICT has ihsan all the way. Exceeds all expectation, mashallah. That standard and that type of attitude that we do something and we do the best that we can do, it has to be the fuel of the Muslim community. I, Umar, and you brothers and sisters, when you come to the masjid, if the masjid needs help and you volunteer, you're not going to volunteer just to show that I did something. No. I'm going to volunteer to make sure I do the best that I can, so that when I'm done, this work or this activity can be something that people can feel proud of. And it has to be the standard at all times. Ihsan in how we dress, right? This we can take it for a long ride. The Muslim should be dressed in the most decent and the most honorable, the most dignified way. His choice of clothing, her choice of clothing, his choice of perfume and smell, his style, the way that he looks should be something that when people look at, they say, wow, this guy has high standard, right? Somebody will say, is somebody not going to get to Jannah if they don't dress nicely? Obviously not. I'm saying that whatever standard you are capable of doing, you should meet. And as a Muslim who has ihsan, you should exceed. This is the idea. If someone doesn't have, right? If someone is, barely making ends meet, Allah is not going to force him to go and take a loan, to go and look and pretend to be rich. This is not the concept. And we are not talking about looking rich or not looking rich. We are talking about being honest with yourself, that I know the standard that I am capable of meeting. As a Muslim, I should at the bare minimum meet that standard, that honest standard for me, not for anybody else, between me and Allah. Allah knows what I am able to do, what I am able to show, what I am able to give. Then the bare minimum for the Muslim is you meet that standard. And our community, inshallah, that we are dreaming of building together, and we will, inshallah, see it come together. Our community will not just meet the standard, we will exceed the standard. We will go beyond expectation. And this will be the gas or the fuel that will help us to reach where we want to go, inshallah. All of this was review of the last 2 weeks. Today, inshallah, we are talking about the Muslim community that we dream of one more time. And we want to discuss what is the mandate of the Muslim community. You see, this Muslim community that we built, we have the building, mashallah, we bought the building, we made it look like a masjid, mashallah. People are coming slowly, they are joining the community, the jama'ah is growing. what is the mandate of this community? What are we trying to do? What is the goal? There has to be a goal, right? There has to be something that we are working towards. Otherwise, where are we going? You cannot call people to something. You cannot invite people. I like to use this example. You cannot invite people to somewhere without an address, right? Imagine if I invited you guys all to my house for the second dinner tonight, and one of the brothers said, "Can I have the address, please?" I tell him, no, just come. He'll say, "Yeah, I'm coming. Can I have the address?" No, brother, don't worry about the address. Just come. You come. The guy will say, "Umar, you've lost your mind. What's wrong with you?" Right? Then all of us, we need something that we are going towards. We need a defined goal. Where are we heading? The mandate of the Muslim community that we are dreaming to build, inshallah, is very clear. It comes from the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Ma'idah, what does He say? وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. This small phrase of the ayah is the mandate of our community. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. What does it mean? Cooperate with others in goodness and in piety. Our mission in life, inshallah, the mandate of our community is that we are looking to hold hands and cooperate with anyone and everyone, as long as the goal is righteousness and piety. If the goal is something positive, we are there. Whether it's our project, his project, her project, anybody's project, doesn't matter. If somebody has a goal and it's something good or it's something righteous, you will find the community of IICT ready to help, ready to support. Our own projects will be set up in a way that they are geared towards achieving either goodness or piety, and there's no third option in between. It's either we're doing something good that's beneficial to the people, or we are doing something that will raise the piety, raise the taqwa of the community, and both of them are good. This is the mandate of the Muslim community that we dream of. Footnote here. Interesting to note, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never said, وَتَعَاوَنُوا مَعَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ بِالْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Allah didn't say cooperate with the believers in goodness and piety. Allah said generically cooperate with others in goodness and piety. Right? This teaches us that some of our good work will be partnered with other people who are not Muslim, perhaps. Maybe they have different school of thought than us. Maybe they have different madhab than us. Maybe they have different methodology than us. It doesn't matter. If the goal is something good, we will cooperate. Right? Obviously, everybody understands this, right? Even if somebody is non-Muslim. An example, the Christian community. They want to do some work to have a food drive, food bank for those who are less fortunate. And they want to run this during the holiday season. The last week of December, first week of January. Will we cooperate with them if they come and knock our door, IICT, say, "Hey, Muslims, we heard you guys are in the neighborhood. This is what we're doing. Are you guys interested to partner with us?" What will we say? We will say, "Yes. How can we help?" We will invite our whole community to come and help. Obviously, everyone understands that cooperating with them in that level of goodness doesn't mean that we have to welcome them to teach our kids fiqh and seerah. Like, everybody understands that there's a clear line there. We cooperate in good humanitarian work, but our deen, our piety, our righteousness is our cup of tea. We will need Muslims, not only Muslims, we will need people with similar theology and methodology to us that can teach our kids and teach our families things that we somehow can understand and relate to. This is obvious. Everyone understands this. But in all other areas of life, if others have a good project or they have a good plan, we will contribute and we will help however we can. The opposite of this is also true. Imagine if our own people are promoting something evil or something bad. Are we going to join with them and help them? Obviously not. Even if it's our own people. If they're a Muslim from our jama'ah, from our community, from our neighborhood, the brother, mashallah, he could be hafiz al-Quran, he could be somebody who is learned, but his activity is damaging to the Muslim community. Am I going to cooperate with him? Obviously not. Then it works both ways. We cooperate with people from outside when they do good, and even if people from the inside are doing something harmful, then we will make a clear boundary and say, hey, we cannot help you with that. This is something that is important for us to keep in mind, inshallah, as we grow as a community, as we grow as one family. Our goal, inshallah, will be to look for every and any opportunity to do good. whether that's with our Muslim brothers or anybody from outside. Somebody might easily, raise a concern and say, but is this right? Can this be the right approach? Would the Prophet ﷺ cooperate with the non-Muslims? Fair question. Somebody has the right to ask. And to answer that question, we have to look at the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. In the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, we learn that before he became a prophet, there was an incident that happened in Mecca. All of us know that Mecca was a very important city, even before Islam, because the Arab, even of Jahiliyyah, they used to make Hajj, right? So now that the Arab used to make Hajj, it means that a lot of people used to travel into Mecca for that Hajj. Whatever Hajj they used to do, whatever weird Hajj they used to do, people used to come from the surrounding area to come do that Hajj. Then, naturally, when people travel and a lot of people gather, a lot of business happens. People trade, they transact, and everyone is trying to make $1 or $2. Something happened. In a specific season of Hajj, there was a group of the people of Quraysh, the local people of Mecca. They had a very evil idea. They said, all these foreigners, they're coming to our land, they're gonna, spend 1-2 weeks and then go. And when they go, most likely they'll never come back again. What if we, set up a stall or a shop to do business and we rob these people? We take advantage of them, we buy their goods and don't give them a fair price, or we sell them our goods at an inflated price. And in the process, whatever money we can steal and pocket, we do. Anybody who complains after that, we tell them get lost. There's evil people everywhere, right? This is not a new idea in our time. There's always people who are a little bit corrupt and they try to take advantage of other people. And so these people of Mecca, this group of Quraysh who wanted to use the Hajj as an opportunity to rob people who are coming to Mecca, they did that. A lot of people were affected who came from outside, but many of the people, in the Jahili time, there was a concept of you have no protection unless your tribe is with you, right? If your tribe is not there to physically back you up, good luck, who's going to help you? And so most of the people with a sad face, they had to accept their loss and go home. But there was one man who was not going to let go easily. He went to the Kaaba. And when he got to the Kaaba, he made a loud call to the people to come. He has something to say. And he told them, he said, which one of you people of Mecca has any dignity and will stand up for the rights of the oppressed? So everybody said, oh, what happened? What's the story? So he said, me, and not only me, but many other people, we are being taken advantage of here in Mecca, where we came to make the Hajj. And he told his story. He said, I lost my goods, I wasn't paid, they abused me, and they're telling me to get lost, and this is happening in your city where you people are in charge. And I'm putting the responsibility on you guys, find some people among you to correct this evil. Majority of the leaders of Mecca didn't want to be disturbed. They said, somebody's making some noise, hopefully tomorrow he'll go home, we'll never hear it again. But there were some of the leaders of Mecca who this didn't sit right with them. And they said, how? We are the leaders of Mecca, we are the custodians of the Kaaba. How can we tolerate and allow in our own city that injustice takes place? Even before Islam, there are some people who had goodness in their heart. And so they made an agreement, a handful of them. They said, we are going to sit together and form a committee. This committee will be responsible for looking after the rights of those who come into Mecca to do business at the time of Hajj. And they said if anybody has a complaint, they will know that they can bring that complaint to us. And then we will go and intervene. We'll be like the force to go and speak to our Meccan brother and tell him, hey, put your act together, don't take advantage of our guests. And so these group of leaders of Quraysh, they came together, a handful of them, and they said, we're going to establish a committee. They called it Hilful Fudul, the committee of righteousness or the committee of virtue. And subhanAllah, they had an idea. They said that man Muhammad is a very honorable, respectable man. He wasn't a prophet ﷺ at that time yet. He wasn't also a leader of Mecca, keep in mind. He wasn't a politician or a political figure. But they recognized his nobility and his decency. And so they invited Prophet Muhammad to sit with them on that committee. And the Prophet ﷺ, he agreed. So he became a member of the Hilful Fudul, which was responsible for protecting the rights of the travelers who used to come into Mecca for Hajj. Now somebody might fire back and say that, okay, the Prophet did this before Islam. That's why he didn't have any red tape. Before he became a prophet, that's why he was able to cooperate with the non-Muslims. But that's not the point of my story. The point of the story I want to share with you guys is, how do we know about this? We know about this because the Prophet ﷺ told us about this when he was in Medina. When the Prophet ﷺ was in Medina, he taught his Sahaba, and us by extension, a lesson. And he was explaining to them that we will cooperate with others if the goal is good. And he used Hilful Fudul as an example. And he, ﷺ, he said, if today while I sit in Medina, another group of people put a Hilful Fudul together from Mecca and understand that the Prophet is in Medina, Mecca is full of the non-Muslims, those who are fighting the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ said, if another committee like Hilful Fudul was formed in Mecca today, and they asked me, Muhammad Rasulullah, in Medina to join and help them, I would join and I would help them. Showing us what? That the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't have any discrimination and he didn't have any boundaries in his mind when it came to helping others and doing the right thing. Even he is the Prophet of Allah in Medina, and these are non-Muslims in Mecca who are actually fighting him. He says, if among them a group of people have a desire to act righteously and they ask for my help, I will sit with them and I will support them. This is an example from the life of the Prophet ﷺ of the fact that cooperation with others, once the goal is good, once the objective is good, is not just recommended, it is the standard of the Muslim community. We should be open to work with anyone and everyone as long as the goal is something positive. And inshallah, this is something so far, my observation at IICT, at the Istiqlal Masjid here, my observation is that we have this ability to cooperate with others. Right? A simple example, as the community grows, you see more and more different cultures joining us, and we cooperate and tolerate everyone, mashallah. I don't want to share the menu for breakfast for tomorrow because the guys at home who are watching will feel bad. But I heard that tomorrow, we had the breakfast together for a couple of weeks now. So far we enjoyed, mashallah, all kinds of amazing Indonesian breakfast that I didn't even think can be breakfast. But it was good, mashallah. Tomorrow I heard a few other families are joining us, they will bring some other things as well. You will see other cuisines infused into our breakfast on Sunday morning. Then what is happening? Our ability to cooperate and work with others when the goal is good, it seems we have that tendency. In the masjid as well, I noticed in my little time working here with you guys, I have noticed that the organization has a habit and has an ability to partner with other organizations. Very healthy, right? That we can cooperate with other groups of people. Whether that be someone like Islamic Relief, a charitable organization, and they need something from us and we benefit something from them. Or a different organization that has some experience in something, we learn from them and they also benefit from us at an organizational level. This ta'awun, this cooperation is a very, very, very healthy thing. And as we grow, the goal is more cooperation, not less cooperation. Because sometimes there's a mindset that because I'm the small fish on the block, I need to cooperate with others. The moment I become the big guy, watch, I'll fix everybody. This is not the attitude. The more we grow, the more we cooperate. The bigger IICT gets, the more partners IICT has. This is at an organizational level. At an individual level, inshallah, we will cooperate with every individual. We are here using the house of Allah for our benefit, right? For our spiritual benefit and for our social benefit as well. Then we will cooperate and tolerate anyone and everyone who comes into this masjid who has the same goal as us. What is our goal? Spiritual upliftment, to Islamically uplift ourselves, to lift our level of iman, and also to have a good social experience, to meet nice people, to be polite to each other, to share food with each other, to give positive advice and positive feedback to everyone. If we find people coming into the masjid and this is their goal and this is their mindset, we will tolerate and cooperate with anyone. Muslim, non-Muslim, confused guy in the middle, confused Muslim on the fence, doesn't matter. As long as they have the right goal in mind. And the right goal is either something good for the community or something that will raise the piety of the community. Ahbab, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. My thoughts on the Muslim community that I dream of. I dream of a Muslim community. Its mandate is very clear. We are here to enjoy our masjid and to enjoy the company of our community while cooperating with everyone, as long as the goal is good or righteous. And if we can cooperate with others, inshallah, sky is the limit for where the benefit of IICT and where the goodness from IICT can reach, inshallah. And for us as individuals, the more we can cooperate with each other, the more we will enjoy and the more we will benefit. Allah tells us in the Quran, I don't want to change topics drastically, but it is worth mentioning for any of you who may have seen. If you guys are football fans like myself, if you are watching the World Cup in Qatar, if you were privileged to watch the opening ceremony that took place, the folks over there did a wonderful job showcasing what Islam and Muslims have to offer to the world, right? And I don't want to go too far off a tangent, but the comparison is strikingly loud to ignore. We have watched many World Cups before. We've watched many Olympics before. Generally speaking, when a country or a group of people welcome the world, what do they show? What do they offer? They offer entertainment. This musician, these dancers, may Allah protect us, this useless performance, this is what they show the world. When the Muslim country had the chance to host and the world was watching, what did they show the world? If you guys watched the performance, I'm sure all of you by now have, they showcased a guy who was talking to himself, wondering how are we going to solve the problems of the world. There's so many cultures, so many languages, so many people are fighting with each other. How are we going to resolve all these differences? And the little young fellow, may Allah bless him, what did he say? And he said it so eloquently and so nicely. And I love the hikmah that was used. Because, we can teach our religion without shoving it down people's throat. He didn't tell the global audience that this is the words of Allah from the Quran, from surah so-and-so, ayah so-and-so, and only if you're a believer you'll be able to get the blessing of it. He never said any of that. He read the ayah in Arabic, and then he translated it, and he said, we were raised to believe and understand that we were made into nations and tribes by God. We are all different, but the benefit of that is what? That we can learn from one another. This is the whole idea. This is the whole goal. So cooperating with other people is very, very healthy. When you cooperate with others, the more people you cooperate with, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better of a person you become. And this is the goal of the Muslim community. This is the mandate of the Muslim community that we dream to build together, inshallah. And I'm telling you right now, from where I'm sitting here in the house of Allah, that this will not remain a dream for a very long time. We have a few more sessions where we're going to talk about our dream. Inshallah, very soon, in a few months, or maximum in a few years, this dream of ours will be a reality that we come and enjoy together, inshallah, right here in this beautiful masjid that we are sitting in. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless one and all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all to everything that is good and everything that is pleasing to Him. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all from all of the evil and all of the things that displease Him. Our sincerest dua, Ya Allah, is that you enable us all to live and die as Muslims. Us and our children and their children and their children until the end of time. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. جزاكم الله خيرا for attentive listening. We will be back next Saturday evening with another episode, inshallah. Until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.